The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Dilini Gunawardena and read by Tilani Pires. The President Ranil Wickremesinghe has urged tourism industry stakeholders to set their sight on 7.5 million tourist arrivals. The expenditure votes of the Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government are passed with amendments at the House. The National Building Research Organisation issues landslide early warning messages to several districts of the island. Immigration Department issues details on visa-free entry to Sri Lanka. The significance of carrying out all the environmental-related activities properly is highlighted. And on international news, the dialysis unit reopens at Al-Shifa Hospital. And on sports news, cricket, Sri Lanka lock-in squad for Under-19 Asia Cup 2023. The President Ranil Wickremesinghe has urged tourism industry stakeholders to aim higher from its current target of 5 million tourists, inviting them to set their sight on 7.5 million arrivals, including higher-paying tourists. Speaking at the 58th Annual General Meeting of the Hotels Association of Sri Lanka, the President said on Monday that there is a need to move beyond the existing framework and embrace competition to elevate Sri Lanka's standing in the global tourism market. The President also highlighted the importance of maximizing earnings and attracting tourists from both domestic and international markets without unnecessary restrictions, calling for the enhancement of the tourism product and a nuanced approach to promotion that go back to the early roots of tourism in Sri Lanka's ancient Anuradhapura kingdom. He urged the industry to specialize, tapping into the unexplored potential that Sri Lanka possesses. President Wickremesinghe also highlighted plans for the transformation of Colombo into an entertainment hub, calling for diverse activities to keep visitors engaged in addition to developing tourism infrastructure. The expenditure votes of the Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government were passed with amendments at the House today. The State Minister, Janaka Wakkumura, said that the unconfirmed employees in the local government bodies will be confirmed within the next 2 months. Constructions of 75 bridges under the local government bodies are currently underway. Construction work of another 75 bridges will commence next February. Attention is also paid to improve tourism in the island as well. Today was the 6th day of the committee stage debate of the budget. The State Minister, P.L. Nishant, appreciated the efforts made by the President to uplift the country. MP Jagat Kumara said that the politicians should be responsible and accountable in carrying out their duties. MP Rauf Hakim said that the state terrorism prevailing in certain government offices should be eliminated. MP Rohini Kumari Wijayaratna highlighted the need to uplift the life status of the poverty-stricken, vulnerable public. MP A.L.M. Ataullah said that the Prime Minister has worked on providing solutions to the issues faced by the public in spite of challenges. MP Ranjit Madhuma Bandar accused that the budget is aiming at gaining votes at the elections. The National Building Research Organisation has issued landslide early warnings messages to several districts of the island. These will be effective till 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. Level 3 evacuation red notices have been issued for Valigapola, Kolonna, Balangoda, Imbulpe and Opanayaka in the Ratnapura district. Level 2 amber alerts have been issued for Kalavana, Ratnapura, Kuruvita, Haliagoda, Alapata and Godakalva in the Ratnapura district. Level 1 notices have also been issued for Haputale, Haliala and Passara in the Badula district, Udunuwara, Gangavama, Korale and Tumpane, Pasbage, Korale, Doluwa and Ganga Ihala Korale in the Kandy district. Gangavata Korale, Tumpane, Pasbage, Korale, Doluwa and Ganga Ihala Korale in the Kandy district. Kagalla, Aranayaka, Mavanala, Ruanvella, Varakapula, Galigamua, Yatiantota and Bulatkohupitia in the Kagalla district and Nivitagala, Kahavatta, Palmadula, Ayagama and Kirialla in the Ratnapura district are also under level 1 warnings. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Department of Immigration and Immigration announces that a free visa regime is implemented for nationals of China, India, Indonesia, Russia, Thailand, Malaysia and Japan with immediate effect until 31st March 2024, launching as a pilot program to rebuild the tourism industry in line with the Cabinet of Ministers' approval. Issuing a statement, the department mentioned that the foreign nationals of the above nominated countries possessing diplomatic, official, public affairs, service and ordinary passports are eligible to enjoy a visa-free regime under this scheme accordingly. Meanwhile, these nationals should apply for electronic travel authorization (ETA) before arriving in Sri Lanka, subject to granting free of charge up to 31st March 2024. The statement further mentioned under this scheme, tourists can enjoy a 30 days free visa period and a double entry facility is permitted from the date of the first arrival to Sri Lanka within 30 days. The Minister Keheliu Rambukwel has highlighted the significance of carrying out all the environmentally related activities properly while utilizing natural resources for economic affairs. A slight mistake may result in a hazard. The Minister expressed these views at a media conference held at the Presidential Secretariat today. He further added that the development and environment preservation should go hand in hand. Attention should be paid to solve the possible environmental and social challenges that may arise in fields like gem mining. This is the significant importance in a context which keenly observes the climatic changes. Delegates from nearly 200 countries, leaders of business and finance and representatives of civil society will gather in Dubai from November 30th to December 12th for the COP28 climate conference with the aim of fast-tracking the transition to a clean energy future. COP28 is expected to stress the importance of collective action to stop climate change and the critical role of finance in the low-carbon transition. That ends local news now.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
The Cabinet spokesman, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, says that the President holds the power to appoint and remove ministers and to assign ministries to the ministers. None is entitled to raise concerns over these matters within the Parliament or otherwise. The Cabinet members are bound by the Cabinet collective responsibility. The Minister made these remarks at the media conference held to inform the media of the Cabinet decisions taken. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
And on Watchlight tonight, vehicular movement on the Navalapitiya Pundaluwe road has been disrupted in the Harangala area due to an earth slip. Accordingly, the police urge motorists driving through this area to use alternate routes until the relevant section of the road is cleared and restored for vehicular movement. The Road Development Authority has initiated measures to clean the mounds of earth and rocks which have fallen onto the road in order to open the section of the road for traffic. That came to you in Watchlight. Moving on with world news and the headlines first. The dialysis unit reopens at Al-Shifa Hospital. First transatlantic flight using 100 green fuels is to take off tomorrow. French pledge to tackle ultra-right after teen killing sparks protests. Gaza's health ministry says the dialysis unit at Al-Shifa Hospital has been reopened and is receiving patients. In a brief statement, the ministry invited patients back to hospital to resume treatment. Israeli troops raided Al-Shifa earlier this month, which led to the evacuation of hundreds of patients and thousands of displaced people who had been sheltering there. Israel argued that Hamas has been using the hospital as a command center, which Hamas and the hospital staff have denied. The first transatlantic flight powered only by alternative fuels will take off from UK tomorrow morning. Operated by Virgin Atlantic, it will fly from London's Heathrow to New York's JFK Airport. Airlines see the flight, which is supported by government funding, as demonstrating that a greener way of flying is possible. But lack of fuel supply remains a challenge, while other technology will be needed to hit emissions targets. French Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin says he is going to propose a ban on small ultra-right groups in response to a series of violent protests over the murder of a schoolboy at a village dance. The 16-year-old, called Thomas, was fatally stabbed when fighting broke out at the dance in Kripol. Prosecutors say 9 suspects have been placed under formal investigation. But extreme right activists have seized on the boys' deaths. On a visit to Kripal, a government spokesman made an appeal to people not to answer violence with violence. Back to the world news headlines. The dialysis unit reopens at Al Shifa Hospital. First transatlantic flight using 100 green fuels is to take off tomorrow. French pledge to tackle ultra-right after teen killing sparks protests. That ends world news.
Development news.
The construction work of the 10-story building for the professional unit of the Faculty of Medicine of Uva University with the financial allocation of 2.26 billion rupees commenced recently at the Badulla Teaching Hospital premises. Dr. Aseli Gunawardena, Director General of Health Services, officially announced that Badulla Provincial General Hospital was also converted into a teaching hospital. Affiliated with the Uva University Medical Faculty, also the hospital's new website was officially launched. That came to you in development news. Moving on with sports news. Sri Lanka squad has been selected for the upcoming Men's Under-19 Asia Cup 2023. Sinethaja Vadana will lead the 15-member Sri Lanka squad, while Marsha Tharupati has been named his deputy. The Under-19 Asia Cup will be played from the 8th to the 17th of December in UAE. 8 Asian teams will compete in the tournament. India, Pakistan, Afghanistan and Nepal will participate in the tournament in Group A. Sri Lanka, alongside Bangladesh, UAE and Japan, will compete in Group B. That ends sports news.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The British Council Sri Lanka awarded 6 exceptional IELTS students from across the country with the promise of a superior university education at the British Council's IELTS Prize Award ceremony held at the British Council Library in Colombo on Monday. The winners were awarded up to €5,000, which would go towards their university tuition fees in English-speaking universities from across the world. That came to you in Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
A meeting between Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena and Italian Ambassador Damiano Francovi took place Monday at the Prime Minister's office in Parliament. New Italian Ambassador Mr. Damiano Francovi expressed his consent to the Prime Minister, Mr. Dinesh Gunawardena, to look into matters urgently to introduce Colombo as a direct air and shipping destination with the aim of developing tourism relationships between Italy and Sri Lanka. Discussions were held regarding further strengthening of bilateral relations between the two countries. That came to you on Economic News.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the northern, eastern, north central, southern and Uva provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in other provinces of the island. Heavy showers about 100 millimeters are likely at some places in the eastern, central, Uva and Sabaragama provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. That was the weather report. And now to in this news broadcast, the main points once again. The President Ranil Wickremesinghe has urged tourism industry stakeholders to set their sight on 7.5 million tourist arrivals. The expenditure votes on the Ministry for Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government are passed with amendments at the House. The National Building Research Organisation issues landslide early warning messages to several districts of the island. Immigration Department issues details on visa-free entry to Sri Lanka. The significance of carrying out all the environmental-related activities properly is highlighted. And on international news, the dialysis unit reopens at Al Shifa Hospital. And on sports news, cricket, Sri Lanka lock-in squad for Under-19 Asia Cup 2023. That ends this news broadcast. And once again, it's back to Chandima Birakun, as always, on a Tuesday night. Back to you, Chandima.